We've all gotten pretty used to asking our smart speakers to turn on the lights or play a song. But let's be honest, is that really a smart home? Today, we're going to go way beyond those simple commands. We're going to explore what it really takes to build a home that isn't just connected, but truly intelligent. This quote right here from the fantastic channel Smart Home Solver just nails it. This is the real goal. Imagine walking out of your office and boom, the lights, fans, speakers, everything just turns off. But then, when you walk back in a few minutes later, it all comes back on to the exact state it was in before you left. Now that is a home that gets you. A home that feels like it's reading your mind.
So, the big question is, how do we get there? Well, it's a journey, and we're going to break it all down into 3 clear levels. We'll start with the basics, where most people begin, and then we'll build all the way up to a pro-level setup that gives you absolute control and rock-solid reliability. Okay, first up, level 1, the connected home. This is pretty much the entry point for everybody. It's that exciting moment when you buy your first few gadgets, totally sold on the promise of convenience and controlling everything from your phone. I bet this looks familiar, right? You grab a smart plug for a lamp, maybe some cool smart bulbs, a security camera for the front door, or a robot vacuum. Each one of these things is great. It solves a specific problem, and it's usually controlled by its own separate app. And that's a fantastic start, but it very quickly leads to some major headaches. And here they are, the big headaches. All of a sudden, your phone is cluttered with a dozen different apps just to control your own house. We call this app chaos. But honestly, the bigger, more fragile problem is that most of these devices completely depend on some company's cloud server to even work.
This chart really shows the difference. With cloud control, if your internet goes down, your smart home is, well, it's dumb. Nothing works. But with local control, your automations, your schedules, everything just keeps on running, no problem. Plus, your data stays private inside your home, and you're not at the mercy of some company deciding to just shut down their service one day. And that brings us to level 2. And let me tell you, this is the most important leap you can possibly make. It's all about solving the mess from level 1 by creating a central brain for your home, a system that runs entirely 100% locally. And the brain we are talking about is Home Assistant. It is this incredibly powerful, open-source platform that you run yourself right inside your own home. Its entire reason for being is built on local control, privacy, and making devices from hundreds of different brands all talk to each other like they're best friends.
This is why it's such a game changer. Essential Brain fixes every single problem from level 1. You get one single interface to control everything. Your automations, like the lights turning on when you get home, work whether your internet is up or down. Your personal data isn't being beamed out to a dozen different companies, and this solid foundation lets you create automations that are just unbelievably powerful.
Okay, so you're sold on the idea. A central brain sounds awesome. But how do you actually run it? It's software, right? So it needs to live on some kind of computer in your house. And that usually means you've got 2 main paths to choose from when setting it up on a home server, like a Synology NAS. Let's break down these 2 paths. On the left, you've got the Home Assistant Operating System, or HAOS, running in what's called a virtual machine. Just think of this as a dedicated managed appliance. It has a built-in supervisor that's like your personal IT department, handling updates for you. It's also got an add-on store, basically an app store, that makes installing new features super simple. On the right, you have the container method using Docker. It's definitely more lightweight, but it means you have to manage everything yourself manually. Honestly, for most people getting started, that virtual machine approach is the way to go for its ease of use and stability. So now we have this powerful brain. What can we actually do with it? Well, this quote from a video by Michael Lean, where he asks his wife for her smart home wish list, really gets to the heart of it. A useful smart home isn't about crazy, complex tech. It's about solving simple, everyday problems. And the key to solving them is something called a trigger. So what's a trigger? It's the if in an if this, then that automation. It's the specific event that kicks the whole thing off. For example, in one of Smart Home Solver's automations, the trigger is a simple pressure sensor under the mattress that knows he's gotten into bed. That single event then triggers the alarm system to arm itself in home mode. This right here. This is where the magic really starts to happen. All right, let's move on to level 3. You've got the brain, you've got the automations, but for everything to work flawlessly 24/7, you need a rock-solid foundation. This is all about making sure the hardware and the network underneath it all are truly up to the task. This Pro Foundation really boils down to 2 things. First, a reliable compute node. That's just a fancy way of saying a dedicated computer that runs your central brain. This could be a Synology NAS, which is also great for file storage, or even a tiny, power-efficient PC. The point is, it's always on and has enough horsepower to run everything without a single hiccup. Second, and this is just as critical, is a super robust and correctly configured home network. Think of this server as the brain and the network as the nervous system that connects everything. If that nervous system is weak, the brain just can't do its job.
Now, one of the most common and frankly maddening problems people run into with more advanced networks is something called double NAT. This happens when you accidentally have two devices on your network, both trying to be the main traffic hop, the router. It ends up creating two separate, isolated networks in your home, which means your phone on Wi-Fi might never be able to see your server that's plugged in with a cable. It's a recipe for disaster.
And here is the solution. You create what's called a funnel topology. All of your internet comes into one and only one main router, in this case, a unified gateway. That single device handles all the routing. Then you take your mesh Wi-Fi system like an Eero and you set it to bridge mode. This tells it to stop trying to be a router and just be a simple access point for your Wi-Fi. This simple change ensures every single device in your home is on one big, happy, unified network. It completely eliminates double NAT and makes everything talk to each other reliably.
And you know, the reward for building this incredibly solid foundation isn't just a reliable smart home. Once you have a server like a Synology NAS and a great network humming along, you can also run a fully automated media server using awesome tools like Plex or Jellyfin and the R stack. It basically transforms your server into the hub for all your home's digital life. So let's take a breath. We've gone all the way from simple cloud-based gadgets to building a powerful, private, and truly intelligent home ecosystem. Let's just quickly recap the path we took.
We started at level 1, the connected home with all its app chaos and reliance on the cloud. Then we leveled up big time to the central brain with Home Assistant, bringing everything under our own local control. And finally, we established a pro foundation with a solid server and network, which is the key to ultimate reliability.
In the end, this isn't really about cool tech tricks. It's about taking back ownership. It's about building a home that actually respects your privacy, that works even when the internet doesn't, and that you can change and grow for years and years to come, all on your own terms. So that really just leaves us with one final thought. The real power here isn't just in automating the stuff you already do, but in imagining what's actually possible. When your home can truly learn and anticipate and react to your life, what will you teach it to do?